Welcome to day 22 of our January challenge and our third day on Paul's Autumn is Nigh. Just a single line today compared to our double lines of the previous few days, but a busier left hand, or certainly a changeable left hand to be conscious of, and a bit of a jumping around as well to be aware of. So let's have a look. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to start playing from bar 19, which is the final two bars of yesterday. So the last two bars of line 4. I'm going to start from there because that's the start of this section that we're learning today. And it leads into it nicely. Okay, so here I go, starting at bar 19. 1, 2, and 3, and. I need to watch there, because what I did in that penultimate bar was I just repeated the same left hand pattern twice, as has been happening in all the previous bars. But in that bar actually we've got another of these walking bass, and I picked it up but I missed half of it, so really be careful there. So I'm going to give myself a pair of specs in that place just to be conscious of it. And we have a writ as well in that final bar. So we can really sort of accentuate that as well. So a simple right hand, lots of time. So really make the effort to bend in beautifully to make those really rich sound. What we need to do is ensure that we then move promptly to where we're going next, even though it's like a change of a line, because it goes up here and then we're jumping down the octave. And actually that's just where our left hand's just been. So there's a bit of carefulness of placing, and then we need to jump up. And on these jumps up, the left hand's also got to be jumping up. So again, the sooner we can get our right hand prepared in those instances especially, the more helpful it is to giving our attention to the one that is busy and has to move. Okay, so our left hand back in bar 19 was down on the ACE triad. And I'm just trying to be a little bit lower than my middle of my strings to not be so boomy on these bass metal strings for me. And then I've suddenly got to jump up an octave. So that's a really good move to practice, and you can practice it by placing that triad and just jumping it. Place the bass triad, jump it an octave up, and can you do that move? And then you can practice by just doing the last 3 notes. Can we get there? Okay. And to be honest, the speed that you can cope with that transition is the speed that's going to be best for you to play the piece. Okay, you could try and get around it by doing the last one as an arpeggio and then crossing under. I think for the security it gives, it's also too much of a change and just as likely to trip you up as trying to do a leap, perhaps even more so. Because at least with the complete leap, you're just going to the same strings with the same fingers. So personally, I advocate for doing the leap, but coping with it. And so again, practicing that left hand jump. And then having done up here for 2 bars worth, so we go into bar 23, it goes down to a D triad. And again, I've got to be able to do that leap. So I might practice even it as chords. And I have a couple of bars worth of that, and then the exact same notes an octave higher. So again, and as I'm playing that last note, I'm already angling, bringing my hand up. Okay, and I'm going to lean into this D. This is the last 2 bars, and remember that I'm moving. And it's again that same idea of the finger 3 having the lean note, the tenuto. Okay, so let's have a look then at playing that together. Just that left hand, we'll start at bar 19. So we're down on the A triad at the bottom. Okay, and again, I'm a little bit lower than middle just on these metal strings. Here we go. 1 and 2 and stay there. And then we're going to leap up the octave. 2 bars. We're going to go down to a D. Stay there, and then in minute, leaping up the octave, and then walking, jumping down to G. Okay, so just being able to do that at a nice even pace and be able to cope with those leaps will be a big thing to practice. And then we're putting the top hand over the top of it. So I'll do that now from bar 19. Okay, 1 and 2 and 3 and. Next line. Getting ready to jump. Going up the octave, top hand ready. And we'll rit. Give yourself lots of time on that one. Okay, join me on the play along video where we'll do it really, really steady. And then I'll also give you the opportunity to do it up to speed as well. Okay, it's going well. Keep practicing. It looks simple, but there's all those little things that just give it that edge and give it something that it's great because it keeps you on your toes, keeps you on your toes, not just your listener. But it therefore needs that concentration to do it. All right, well done.